Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chains. Welcome to the Chains Project. Today's episode is Genesis chapter 18, verse 16 to 33. Judgment pronounced on Sodom. That's damn right. We're going to blow up some stuff. Or we're going to say that we're going to blow up some stuff. Maybe. Then the men went out from there and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to see them on their way. The Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Seeing that Abraham will become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed by him? No, for I have chosen him, that he may charge his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord, doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring about for Abraham what he has promised him." Then the Lord said, "How great is the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah, and how very grave their sin! I must go down and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me, and if not, I will know." So the men turned from there and went towards Sodom, while Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham came near and said, "Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place and not forgive it for the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so the righteous fare as the wicked. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just?" And the Lord said, "If I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will forgive the whole place for their sake." Abraham answered, "Let me take it upon myself to speak to the Lord, I who am but dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? And he said, "I will not destroy it if I find 45 there." Again he spoke to him, "Suppose 40 are found there." And he answered, "For the sake of 40 I will not do it." Then he said, "Oh, do not let the Lord be angry if I speak. Suppose 30 are found there." He answered, "I will not do it if I find 30 there." He said, "Let me take it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there." He answered, "For the sake of 20 I will not destroy it." Then he said, "Oh, do not let the Lord be angry if I speak just once more. Suppose 10 are found there." He answered, "For the sake of 10 I will not destroy it." And the Lord went his way after he had finished speaking with Abraham. And Abraham returned to his place. So God and his buddies, after last episode's amazing dinner of cake yumminess, decided to go a little walk, and they saw, hey look, there's Sodom there. Nice view from Abraham's tent, by the way. And they were like, well, should we tell Abraham that we're going to blow it up with some awesome, cool stuff? We are going to make him awesome. I think he should know. And then the two guys decided to leave to go check out the place and make sure, everything was as evil as they thought it was. And Abraham was like, hey God, what if we find like 50 cool people there? Are you really going to destroy them along with all the other people? That's not really fair. And God's like, I guess you're right. That wouldn't be very fair. If we find 50 people there, we won't blow up the city. Easy as that. And then Abraham's like, how about 45? What if there's 45? And God's like, I guess so. And then Abraham's, hey, how about 30? And God's like, I guess 30. And then Abraham nickel and dimes him down to about 10 people. And God's like, all right, I'll see you later, Abraham. I'm going to go prepare to blow up the city. And Abraham went back to his house thinking, I bet there's not 10 people that are good in that place, because that place is full of evil, nasty things that involve sodomy. Ugh. Now in this chapter we have something very interesting that comes up. This is the very first inclination of maybe God is not omniscient, and omniscient being Latin for all-knowing. The evidence that shows this is God being willing to negotiate with Abraham. And maybe God is omniscient and knew that Abraham was going to try and negotiate with him and just went along with it because he was good friends with Abraham. But we don't actually know that. From the viewpoint, it really does seem like God's kind of like, I guess so, maybe. I haven't really thought about all this. I was just going to do it on Sunday instead of golf and blowing up cities. Another fact that shows that God may not be omniscient is that he sent his guys down there, his two buddies, whoever the hell they were, to go check out Sodom for him to see if it really was an evil, sinful city. Maybe God just did that to please Abraham also, because remember, Abraham's nephew Lot is living in Sodom, and he's obviously got a family by now because it's been a few years. And this chapter also shows that God may also be omniscient, knowing everything, because he stated at the very beginning, he's like, I know Abraham's going to be awesome, duh. In the way that he said Abraham's going to be the great nation, everybody's going to be blessed by him, he's going to be awesome, people are going to want to have him sign their underwear, and that kind of cool stuff that happens when you're really popular, from my understanding. And that kind of contrasts with the earlier points, but remember, God could have just been like, Abraham's my best friend, I love him, he's got a really cool beard, let's just make him happy so he doesn't freak out and try and murder me, because he's the only one so far that I've tricked into cutting little bits of his penis off. Now the main point of the story, from my understanding, is that you should not harm just one innocent people. In the story, they kind of finish off at 10, but you could really whittle it down to 1. If there's one good person, you shouldn't do anything bad to them, even if they're surrounded by a big pile of evil, stinky meanness. Now this point, of course, conflicts with utilitarianism, which is a branch of philosophy which deals with the, maybe the suffering of one person for the greater good of everybody. That say, if God actually did blow up Sodom, it'll be much better because there'd be a lot less evil and whatever the heck else they're doing there. And that it would be good, even if, maybe you lost 1 or 2 good people, they would have died, to help or maybe not help, or they kind of just were collateral damage in what happened to, cleanse, for lack of a better word, and purify the rest of the world. So you could go either way on this point, in my opinion. Sometimes I lean towards the utilitarianism when it isn't actually directly affecting me, because, I'm a selfish, horrible person, and everybody knows that. But overall, I am for the better good of all mankind, which is why I like stem cell research. It's totally cool. Whoop-de-doo if one baby doesn't get born. We lose tons of them all the time. It's called masturbation and menstruating. It just happens. You lose half a baby every time you do that. That was a very strange way to end the episode, but this is the very end of this episode of The Chains Project. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave all your comments, questions, and quilted koala bears, and also your concern, down in the comment section below. Or send me an email, because I love them almost as much as I love blowing up stuff. And I was working on an outro, but I have to read the entire works of Sherlock Holmes, because I'm a big fat nerd. Front door, it was barred in the morning, then it was barred after them. How do you know? I saw their traces. Excuse me a moment, so